everybody, welcome back. Here is part 3 of our tomato project and what we have so far. So just to remind you all, we're testing our early girl tomatoes and how they perform in the different soils that we use here or that we sell here at Flower World. And we're going to be looking at manure, ready to use soils, and compost soils. Along with the different soils that we are testing, we are also seeing how they perform when they are watered with water that has fertilizer versus clear water without fertilizer. Okay, so over here we had 2 types of manure that we were testing. We have chicken manure and steer manure. From the very first week, we lost our tomatoes in our chicken manure, and you can go ahead and check out our last video and see how I explained what might have happened to them. But we do have our steer manure that still continued. Clearly, compared to the rest of our soils, these are the lowest performance. But you can see a slight difference between ones that were watered with fertilizer and ones that were watered without fertilizer. Oh, and like I mentioned before in the previous video, we have what's happening above the soil and then along with what's happening below the soil. Good, healthy, white roots. So that's how our manures are doing. Moving along to our ready-to-use soils, we have our in-house Flower World soil. So if you were to come and purchase this would be in a green bag. And then we have an organic potting mix and then a raised bed potting mix. Here, our soil, we know for sure has a slow release fertilizer in it. And so looking at it straight off the bat, you can't see too much difference between watering with fertilizer and watering without fertilizer. So you would know now that if you were to use this soil at home and you don't add fertilizer to your water, that your tomatoes would perform quite well in comparison to watering with fertilizer. And looking at our soil compared to the other 2 ready-to-use soils, the foliage on these tomatoes turned out a lot greener than the rest. Well, let's see what's happening below the soil. Some rootage that was with fertilizer water versus without fertilizer water. And again, our soil has a 3 to 4 month slow release fertilizer in it. Okay, and now lastly, moving on to our compost soils. Just to remind you, we have compost soil that does not have fertilizer in it, and then our compost soil that does have slow release fertilizer in it. This one has a 5 to 6 month slow release fertilizer, and then another organic compost that we sell here. And so looking at these, especially our compost soil that doesn't have fertilizer in it, there's a clear difference between ones that have been watered with fertilizer versus ones that weren't watered with fertilizer. These ones have much fuller foliage and are slightly taller versus the ones watered with regular water. And let's take a look at what's happening below the soil. That's without fertilizer versus with fertilizer. These clearly just got watered. And if you were to come here and we're seeking compost soil, you can find that in our black bag. So if you haven't already, go ahead and like and subscribe to our channel to stay updated on our tomato projects and other videos that we will be posting. And if you're ever in at retail, let us know if you've seen our videos. Also come in and check us out for some tomatoes that'll be for sale.